This morning on Daybreak, Hannah Zettel is at Table Rock Lake for the start of the 2019 Costa Fishing League Worldwide Series.
And Missouri's state budget is set to be approved by the end of the week. Governor Parson will see a good portion of that go toward funding failing bridges around the state.
Plus, the Springfield Landmark Board has decided to save an historic part of the Ozarks to help preserve part of Route 66 history. All that's coming up this morning for you on Daybreak.
Good morning and thanks for waking up with us. It's Thursday, May 9th. I'm Lauren Barnes.
And I'm Joe Morano. Time to get moving out the door on this Thursday. And we got to check in with meteorologist Elisa Raff, of course. A little wet as we started again this morning, right?
Yeah, just a little bit, but
did you guys have sprinkles on your windshield? I don't know.
I'm trying to remember. That already seems like so long ago. I don't know that I did. Did you?
Yeah, no, not really. Noticed a lot of wet roads out there still.
Yeah. We are still unsettled today. This is the last day. We're finally saying goodbye to this front today. Today was one of the calmer days that I've had in the weather lab in the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sure you're excited about that. Everyone at home probably is too, though.
So far, so good for you.
Yeah, so far, so good. We've got some clouds out there this morning. Temperatures are in the 50s. It's 59 degrees in Branson. We've got some calm winds and some clouds out there. We could have some patchy fog this morning. Visibility right now is doing okay. We've got mostly cloudy skies and a few sprinkles as our cold front finally comes through. We've got a couple of light showers around Lockwood and up towards Stockton, just to the north and west of Springfield. That's where our front sits right now. It's splicing the north and west part of the area, but as you can see, this is the fuel map, the instability map. There's nothing there. So that's why it's a little bit quiet out there. Not expecting severe weather this morning. It's 62 degrees in Springfield, 59 in Branson, and 59 in Ava. Possibly some wet roads this morning until lunchtime as the front comes through. I think will be cloudy but mostly dry today. Maybe a few spotty showers. Temperatures hold cool and steady at 59 degrees. The last small severe risk that we've got to talk about for today. Details in 10 minutes.
New this morning, today marks the start of the Costa Fishing League Worldwide Series featuring a grand prize of more than $90,000.
Those anglers are getting set to start 3 days out on Table Rock Lake. That's where we'll find Hannah Zettel this morning. Hannah, you trying to go for the prize?
Lauren and Joe, good morning. It is a beautiful morning on Table Rock Lake already. The competition starts at 6 a.m. this morning, and there are almost 300 anglers here today, so they are ready to go. They are ready to hit the water, start fishing. They're fishing for bass today, and of course, they're competing for that $92,000 prize. Today, I am joined by Bass Pro fisher Jeremy Lawyer. Jeremy, good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you guys?
I'm great. So you have taken home that big prize before, so I know you're not going to tell me all your secrets, but what's your strategy this morning?
Well, you know, Table Rock, it's a place where you've got all three species of bass, and they're up shallow right now spawning, and so there's going to be a lot of fish caught today. It's going to be fun. You know, I'm going to try and run the numbers game and catch as many as I can looking at them down the bank and hope that I keep calling throughout the day and get up there and maybe crest that 14-pound mark. You know, somebody will probably lead with 17, 18, but if a guy can just be consistent with 14, 15 pounds, he'll keep taking a hack at the top.
Right. And so how long have you been a pro fisher?
Well, I mean, easy on the pro, but I mean, I've been fishing tournaments since I was a little kid, but you know, about 10 years ago, I started fishing the BFL at the FLW Tour, you know, and they have different tiers, and so just kind of worked my way up through the program that FLW has in place, and you know, it's just something that I love to do, and it's been great to me.
Great. And so you were talking about luck over skill. What's your opinion on it?
I'd rather be lucky than good any day, you know, but you still got to put yourself in position to get lucky. But there'll be a lot of guys today catch one, boy, that's lucky. So, I mean, luck's a big part of it.
Right. And what's the typical size weight for the bass?
You know, Table Rock's got a lot of the same size fish, you know, a lot of 2.5 pounders, 3 pounds. So there'll be a lot of those fish that's going to fall in that 12-pound mark today. As far as 5 fish, we can weigh in 15 inches long. And you'll see all 3 species from Kentucky's and largemouth and smallmouth. But probably a typical sack today will be around 11 or 12 pounds. And then if you can get 13, 14, you'll get over the hump. And if you fall behind a little bit, it'll be hard to gain in this one.
All right. Well, Jeremy Lawyer, he is with Bass Pro this morning. I wish you the best of luck this morning and for the rest of the tournament here the next 3 days. I will be back with you guys in the studio later, but for now, in Branson, Hannah Zettel, Ozarks First.
All right, Hannah, thank you. Also happening around the Ozarks, a piece of Ozarks history has been saved. The Springfield Landmarks Board last night made the Lurvie Cabins a historic landmark site. The cabins predate hotels. Travelers would pay just a few dollars to stay the night there. The board is asking the city to consider public comment before deciding if they want to demolish the building, but efforts to keep it are already happening. The Route 66 Association is organizing a cleanup. They want to turn it into a piece where people can stop by and take pictures.
Thousands of people travel Route 66 every summer. It's one of the first properties they come to when they come into Springfield. And it's always a real photo op to stop and take pictures of something with the Ozark Stone.
Now, if you want to volunteer, you can check for events, updates, and details on the Facebook page Route 66 Lurvie Court.
The budget for Missouri is set to be approved by the end of the week, and a good portion of that will go to repairing infrastructure. You may recall that's something Governor Mike Parson was adamant about in his State of the State address in January. The state wants to set aside about $351 million to repair about 250 bridges in Missouri. Most of those are in rural areas. State Senator Lincoln Huff says that a big money plan like this is necessary because the old way of funding these repairs isn't enough.
Plus years in this state, it has been paid for essentially by a user fee, a gas tax, and it's worked that long. But we are in a situation now in this state where the cost of doing these projects and the number of miles of highway and the bridges that we have, we don't have enough money coming into those dedicated revenue lines.
$50 million of that will come from general revenue. The other $300 million from bonds that are expected to be paid back over about 7 years.
Governor Parson also flew around the St. Louis area to assess flooding in the region yesterday. The governor took an aerial tour along the Missouri, Mississippi, and Merrimack rivers. According to Parson's Twitter account, he also met with federal, state, and local partners on current flood conditions.
We want to see at the table of how these rivers are managed and can we prevent them in the future. We know that this is escalating with these floods, and we've got to realize that. We've got to figure out what are we going to do 5 and 10 years down the road.
The governor says he's considering if the National Guard will need to assist in cleaning up once the floodwaters subside.
The governor was also in St. Louis yesterday and took time to meet with leaders in Wentzville as that town continues to work out an offer to get General Motors to expand its plant there. The governor confirmed they are looking at offering $5 million a year over 10 years in tax incentives if GM invests at least $500 million. Since the negotiations are ongoing, the governor was limited with what he could say about what GM was offering in return. Right now, the governor is focused on the impact on the rest of the state, though.
About the retention of jobs. When you see that 5 other plants have closed across the United States, 14,000 people has lost their jobs. You know, if General Motors would decide to take this somewhere else, you can imagine the effect it has here in our state and here in these communities.
Parsons said GM hopes to make the decision by the end of the month, so lawmakers in Jeff City will have to act quickly on a deal.
And in this morning's political coverage, if you're caught poaching in the state of Missouri, you can now expect a much larger fine. House Bill 260 ramps up fines significantly. Poaching includes killing, transporting, or disposing of certain wildlife. Hunters can be charged up to $15,000 for each bear or elk killed illegally, up to $12,000 for turkeys. And the bill overwhelmingly passed and now goes to the governor to be signed.
Up next for you here on Daybreak, Walmart increases the required age to buy cigarettes.
And the U.S. and China are scrambling to make a trade deal before the president's proposed tariffs tomorrow. Your Money Watch is up next.
From Color 10 Ozarks First, Lauren Barnes, Joe Morano, and weather with meteorologist Elisa Raffa. This is Color 10 News Daybreak.